14, 1948, the government terminated its Palestine mandate, and on May 15, 1948, David Ben-Gurion declared the independent state of Israel.
תפתח לרווחה את שערי המולדת לכל יהודי, ותעניק לעם היהודי מעמד של אומה שוות זכויות בתוך העמים. תוקף זכותנו הטבעית וההיסטורית ועל יסוד החלטת עצרת האומות המאוחדות, אנו מכריזים בזאת על הקמת מדינה יהודית בארץ ישראל.
Hospital. The White House also watching their historic move unfold at this hour after the president's decision to move the U.S. Embassy in Israel to Jerusalem. Ivanka Trump was there to represent the president at the dedication today as tens of thousands of Palestinians protested the move. Palestinian authorities reporting tonight that more than 50 people have been killed in clashes, some 2,700 injured. Previous presidents have called Jerusalem Israel's capital, but did not move the embassy amid concerns it would hurt attempts to achieve Mideast peace. Tonight, the clashes already, and ABC's chief foreign correspondent Terry Moran with the pictures from Jerusalem.
It was Ivanka Trump who did the honors in Jerusalem today. The curtain came down, formally opening the embassy, and first daughter took the mic.
We welcome you officially and for the first time to the Embassy of the United States here in Jerusalem, the capital of Israel. Thank you.
At that same moment on the Gaza border, an awful scene unfolding. Tens of thousands of Palestinians, some waving their flags, the flags of a people without a country, a human tide of protest against the U.S. Embassy opening. Jerusalem, claimed by both Palestinians and Israelis as their capital, one of the most emotional issues in the long conflict. Israeli security forces first fired tear gas into the crowd and dropped it from drones. Then they opened fire. Alex Rossi.
Hi, Garrett.
Again, we received exclusive video from an Israeli-American journalist who went into Gaza this week to show how the UN Relief Agency is allegedly encouraging Palestinian children to take part in these deadly riots. This is purportedly the scene of a school assembly in Gaza ahead of Monday's violent clashes on Israel's border. The journalist David Badin claims the school is run by the UN's Relief and Works Agency, or UNRWA, but we can't independently verify that and the other claims in the video. UNRWA provides humanitarian aid to millions of Palestinian refugees across the Middle East, including schools and hospitals. But the agency has also been criticized by Israeli and U.S. lawmakers for teaching anti-Israel and anti-Semitic views in its schools. This new video could fuel those allegations, as it alleges that students at the schools are being taught that they have the right to return to the lands taken by Israel and claim them by any means necessary.
أكيد مواد بناخذ في العربي، بناخذ كيف ندافع عن الوطن، كيف نرجع لها، كيف هيك.
بإذن الله سوف نرجع إلى بلدنا. طبعا ما أخذ بالقوة لا يسترد إلا بالقوة، بالجهاد بشتى أنواعه. نحن نريد تحريرها بكل الوسائل، أسلحة، عمليات طعن، عمليات داهس.
ما بنفعش معهم السلمية، بس بدنا بالقتال بالمجاهد بكل شيء. المهم بس نرجع على بلدنا. هدول جو كل واحد يرجع.
All right. So Shabbat Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Right. The title of tonight's lesson, if you guys go right, how's everybody doing? Great. No, that's the last one. One at the bottom? No, the one right there, the top one. No, the middle one. Turn it on a little bit. Yeah, that's it. All right, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. All right. The title of tonight's lesson, if you guys can already see it, is Civil Unrest in the State of Israel will lead to the final war. Right? civil unrest in the state of Israel will lead to the final war, right? And I want to say Shabbat Shalom to all the brothers and sisters online streaming throughout the four corners of the earth, and give all praises to the Most High Ahaya, Bahashem Yeshaya, or Ruach Hadash, the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit in the ancient tongue, right? So as of late, we all know what the topic of discussion has been, right? Recently, earlier this week, President Trump, right?
You want to turn it up?
Just a little bit. If you can move the speaker a little up, so that way my voice don't feel. One moment, brothers and sisters. All right, testing. All right. Much better. Shalom. All right, so we know that earlier this week, President Trump and his cabinet, they went into Israel and they made Jerusalem the embassy of the United States. And with that, they proclaimed that Jerusalem is now the capital of Israel. And as you guys can see from that video, there's been nothing but civil unrest between the Israelis and the Palestinians. And we're going to go into Bible prophecy tonight to show everybody, without a shadow of a doubt, that everything that's going on, everything that we see going on in the media right now is actual Bible prophecy, and will lead to the final war with Christ and his angels, right? So what did this do, right? That now that this President Trump, right, has now declared that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. That automatically causes tension between the Palestinians and the Israelis, which is actual Bible prophecy. Now, who is the modern day Israelis today? Some of us might ask. It is who? The sons of Edom. And who are the Palestinians? The sons and daughters of Moab and Ammon. And we're going to get that information for you tonight. But I want to go into this first scripture just to break the ice concerning what we're seeing going on in the media. Hosea 4:1 real quick.
Hosea chapter 4 verse 1.
Yeah.
Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel, for the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land.
So the Most High is saying that he wants the children of Israel to hear a word, that he has a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, right? What's the controversy that he has?
Because there is no truth.
There is no what?
There is no truth.
There is no truth.
Nor mercy.
Nor mercy.
Nor knowledge of the Most High God in the land.
Nor knowledge of the Most High God in the land. And as you can see, the truth that has been hid from all humanity is what? The hiding of the children of Israel. Matter of fact, let's get that in the book of Jeremiah. No, sorry. Psalms 83 real quick. Just to show real quick the controversy that the Most High has with the inhabitants of the world.
Get it?
Psalms 83:1.
Psalms 83 verse 1.
Go ahead.
Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
So the enemies of the Most High make a tumult. Go ahead.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
Go ahead.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy hidden ones. Who was the Most High's hidden ones? The children of Israel. So we see that all the nations, which are the enemies of the Most High, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, are in confederate against who? The children of Israel. Go ahead.
Verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
So this is the controversy that the Most High had with all these nations, right? Come and let us cut them off from being a nation. Why? So we can steal the land. So now you guys are gonna understand tonight that the wars that's going on right now in Israel, or in the state of Israel, is wars between the children of Esau and the children of Moab and Ammon, which are the modern day Palestinians. And we're going to go into the Bible to show that everything that we're seeing that's happening right now is actually written and is coming to pass right now, right? So now I'm going to come back to to Psalms 83, but I want to most predominantly focus on Moab and Ammon and the sons of Edom, or which is Ammon right now. So we're going to go into Jeremiah, the 25th chapter. Due to this controversy that the Most High had with the inhabitants of the world, right? I want you guys to take a look and see what the Most High is getting ready to do, right?
Yeah.
Jeremiah 25 and 31. Got it.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 25, verse 31.
Go ahead.
A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth.
It says, a noise shall even come to the ends of the earth. Go ahead.
For the Most High hath a controversy with the nations.
He has a controversy with the nations. You see? Same thing we just read in the book of Hosea, that the Most High have a controversy with the inhabitants of the world. Because why? There's no truth. There's no knowledge. Right? Go ahead.
He will plead with all flesh.
He will what?
He will plead with all flesh.
So it says here that the Most High will plead with all flesh. Go ahead.
He will give them that are wicked to the sword.
He will give them that are wicked unto the sword. You see that? So now we got to see how is the Most High going to get ready to do this? And the reason behind why he's going to get ready to do this. Because remember, we just read in Psalms 83 that the Most High is upset with the nations for what? For hiding and concealing the truth concerning the Most High's people. Right? They wanted to cut the children of Israel out of the way so they could go into the land. And you guys are going to come and realize that the other nations always wanted the land of Canaan. All right? Especially, not just Edom, but especially Moab and Ammon. Right? So now let's get Isaiah 34, verse 8. Why will this happen? Why will the Most High plead with all nations? And I want to make this clear. When the Most High says he's going to plead with them, it's not begging and pleading. It's basically going to war to win back the land, right? So now we got to get the understanding to why the Most High is getting ready to do this. Got it?
Yeah.
Isaiah 34, verse 8.
Isaiah 34 and 8. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance.
So the controversy is the day of the Lord's vengeance. Right? Go ahead.
And the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion.
For the what?
And the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion.
For the controversy of the land of Zion. Right? So a lot of us, especially, a lot of us are, especially our people, we are caught up with mainstream media right now and not really going into Bible prophecy, not really understanding what's going on in the Middle East that ties into Bible prophecy. So the Most High said he's going to plead with all flesh, right, during the day of his vengeance for the land of Zion, right? And there's something that we have to understand that happened to the land of Zion. Right? When the children of Israel ran out of Israel, right? What happened? Who went into the land? Moab and Ammon. So matter of fact, let's get the definition. I want to get the definition real quick.
All right, this is under
and this is just for anybody out there who's teaching that Moab and Ammon are the Chinese and Japanese. Right? Moab and Ammon are the children of Lot. Get that real quick?
All right, this is the definition of Ammon in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. It says Ammon, or Ben-Ami, is the name of one of the sons of Lot, born to him by his youngest daughters in the neighborhood of Zoar. Genesis chapter 19, verse 6.
So we understand that Lot was from the seed of what? It's from the seed of Shem, right? And people who saying that Moab and Ammon is the Chinese and Japanese are not really tying in, the chronology or the birthrights of the people in the scriptures. We understand that the Chinese and Japanese are Japhet, right? Now get the definition from Moab real quick in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary.
All right, the definition of Moab: grandson of Lot.
Grandson of Lot.
By incest.
By what?
By incest.
By incest.
With his eldest daughter. 2. The second definition. People descended from Moab.
People descended from Moab, go ahead.
also their land east of Jordan.
So listen to this. So the people of Moab and Ammon, their land was where?
East of Jordan.
East of Jordan. So now, like I said earlier, we have to understand that the modern day Palestinians are the sons and daughters of Moab and Ammon. You're going to get to understand by the end of this lesson, like I said, why they're in the land and why they're both fighting over the land, right? So it said that the Moabites lived where? East of Jordan. Go ahead.
Refused Israel passage to Canaan.
So you see, when we was trying to get into Israel during the Exodus under Moses, the children of Moab and Ammon stood in the way so we couldn't get into the land of Canaan. Because why? The Moabites, the Ammonites, and the Amorites, they were all in the land. And these are the nations that we had to go in to fight against to get the land. Right? Go ahead.
Passage to Canaan. Sent Balaam to curse Israel, subdued by David, denounced by prophets, and then it says Ruth was a Moabite.
Okay, so we see, according to the Unrest Bible Dictionary, the sons and daughters of Ammon, or of Ammon and Moab, are descendants of the line of Shem, which means that they can no way be the Chinese or the Japanese, being that the Chinese and the Japanese are from the seed of Japheth. So moving right along, right? So what do we need to know according to Christ concerning what's happening, right? We see, the day after Trump announced the embassy would be in Jerusalem, and he named Jerusalem the capital of Israel, something that no president ever did before. You guys got to understand that. And the reason why no president ever did that was because why? To keep the peace between Moab and Ammon and who? Edom, or the Israelis and the Palestinians. So every president, made sure that they didn't say, Jerusalem was for the Israelis or Jerusalem is for the Palestinians. They only did that to keep the peace. But this was only being done for a time, because now we see that President Trump now, he's taking a stance. He's saying, you know what? This place is for Israel. Despite the Palestinians been there thousands or hundreds of years before the so-called Jewish people went into the land in 1948. You see? So this is why I said that what's going on in Israel is the beginning of the final war, which we know as what? Armageddon. We're going to talk about that briefly tonight. So now, according to Christ, what does all this mean for us? I want you to go to Matthew 24, right? Matthew 24 and 6. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 6.
Yeah.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
So Christ said, so let me just break this down real quick, the synopsis of this chapter. His disciples was asking him when would be the end of the all times and when would be his return. So Christ said, you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Right? Go ahead.
See that ye be not troubled.
See that you be not troubled. Go ahead.
For all these things must come to pass.
For what?
For all these things must come to pass.
For all these things must come to pass. Go ahead.
But the end is not yet.
But the end is not yet. So that means before his coming, we're gonna experience it. We're gonna see the wars and rumors of wars. And I'm gonna tell you right now, what you see in the media, they're just calling it civil unrest or unpeaceful protesting. That's really actual war going on. So we're not living in a time where it's rumors of wars. It's actual wars happening that will lead into the final battle. Can I read the next verse? Verse 7?
Verse 7.
Yeah.
For nation shall rise against nation.
It says, for nation shall rise against nation. The sons of Edom or the sons of Amalek will fight against the Palestinians or Moab and Ammon. That's in the land right now. See that? For nation shall rise against nation. Go ahead.
And kingdom against kingdom.
And kingdom against kingdom. Right? These are all the things that Christ told us to look out for concerning his coming. Go ahead.
And there shall be famines.
And there shall be what?
Famines.
And there shall be famines.
And pestilences. And earthquakes.
And earthquakes.
In diverse places.
In diverse places. You know, the latest coverage of earthquakes and volcanoes is right now happening where? In Hawaii. Hawaii is getting burnt up right now as we speak. And these are the signs that Christ warned us about that, but no one is paying attention. Right? But they got us focused on the black-white agenda, the racist movement right now. The latest, and some of you brothers and sisters online could probably approve of this too. The latest meme right now is this Caucasian lady with glasses who's calling the cops on black people having a cookout or a barbecue. So now they're trying to use that. They keep trying to fuel the black and white paradigm when we should be looking at Bible prophecy, right? Looking at the wars and rumors of wars, what's happening in the Middle East, right? Well, how are these nations being destroyed? But Christ told us that this is important. This very time that we're living in is very important, right? Understanding that what's going on is actually written in the scriptures. Let's go to the book of Zephaniah. The current fighting in Israel will lead to what we're about to read right now. Granted, since they went into the land in 1948, right, there's been nothing but wars in there. Nothing but wars in the state of Israel. But the Bible prophecy says that once the children of Israel are back in the land, the land is not supposed to study any wars no more. So now, let's read in the book of Zephaniah what we're seeing happening right before our very eyes. Zephaniah 2:1. You got it?
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
So who the Most High is talking about? The children of Israel. Most High is telling us to gather ourselves, the nation who is not desired. Go ahead. Before what?
Before the decree bring forth. Before the day pass as the shaft. Before the fierce anger of the Most High come upon you. Before the day of the Most High anger come upon you.
Read that last verse again.
Before the day of the Most High's anger come upon you.
So the Most High is telling us to gather now while we still can, before the Most High unleash wrath. So now these times when we're going into prophecy is the time when we need to be gathering and learning and trying to, trying to make our way back to the Father so that way we could be protected. Because you're going to see later on in this lesson that the Most High is going to rain his judgment, not just on the nations, but those of the people of the curse, which is us. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 3. Seek ye the Most High.
So we need to be seeking the Most High during these times of civil unrest, wars and rumors of wars. Go ahead.
All ye meek of the earth.
All ye meek of the earth. Go ahead.
Which have wrought his judgment.
He's specifically talking to those who have kept the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You see that? Go ahead.
Seek righteousness.
Seek righteousness.
Seek meekness.
Seek meekness. So this is the Most High talking to us. Those who are in the room, those streaming online. The Most High is commanding us to seek him now, so that way when all hell breaks loose and all the nations is going at each other, we're going to be protected through all this. Khan? Go ahead.
It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Most High's anger.
You see that? So the Most High he wants to protect our people. But I'm gonna just let you know right now, 2/3 of our people is gonna sleep on this. 2/3 of our people is not even gonna understand what we're going into right now. They will be cut off in the midst of all this. Right? Go ahead. What verse you at?
Verse 4.
Verse 4. Listen to verse 4 clearly.
For Gaza shall be forsaken.
For what?
For Gaza shall be forsaken.
For Gaza will be forsaken. And we just played the video in the beginning to show what was going on in Gaza right now. So this is only leading up to what the Most High is bringing on the earth. The Most High said Gaza will be forsaken. And you see, and when I'm watching the media, I'm watching the news, and I'm seeing what's going on, and I'm just everything that I'm seeing that's happening in the East, I'm just tying it to Bible prophecy. That's what we need to be doing during these times. Watching what's going on outside of America and tying it to Bible prophecy, because a lot of these pastors are trying to tie in Bible prophecy to ancient Israel or to ancient Babylon or to how we're living right now in America, when they're not looking at the prophecies and looking at it real time. You guys understand that? Go ahead.
And Ashkelon.
And Ashkelon, which is also a place in Palestine. Go ahead.
A desolation.
A desolation. This is what's going on right now as we speak. Right? Go ahead.
They shall drive out Ashdod at the noonday, and Ekron shall be rooted up.
And these are all places in the Gaza Strip. All right, go ahead.
Verse 5. Woe unto the inhabitants of the sea coast.
It says, woe unto the inhabitants of the sea coast. Now, what area is that predominantly in Palestine or in Israel? That's called the West Bank. That's another area that the Israelis are actually occupying, which overlooks the waters, the sea, the ocean. Listen to what the Most High says for that area right there. Go ahead.
The nation of the Cherethites.
The nation of the Cherethites. And when you go into the Hebrew for the word Cherethites, it means lifeguards. Go ahead.
The nation of the Cherethites, the word of the Most High is against you.
The people who's inhabiting the sea coast of Palestine or Gaza, the West Bank. Go ahead.
O Canaan, the land of the Philistines, I will even destroy thee, that there shall be no inhabitant.
So the Most High is talking about destroying his own land. Why? Because it's all tying into us redeeming the land back with the sword. Look ahead.
Verse 6. And the sea coast shall be dwellings and cottages for shepherds, and folds for flocks. Verse 7. And the coast shall be for the remnant of the house of Judah. There shall feed thereupon. In the house of Ashkelon shall they lie down in the evening. For the Most High their power shall visit them and turn away their captivity.
So once the Most High done purge the land, it would be a dwelling place for his people. Right? But first he got to get the imposters out of the land. And we're going to prove to you tonight that there is imposters in the land right now. So go ahead.
Verse 8.
Yeah.
I have heard the reproach of Moab.
I have what?
I have heard the reproach of Moab.
So Moab, I'm trying to tell you guys, Moab is the people. Moab and Ammon are the modern day Palestinians. You gotta keep that in mind. So every time you guys hear fighting between the Israelis and the Palestinians, just always replace the name Palestinians with Moab and Ammon. Those are the people who went into the land when we left in 70 AD. Okay? And then after that, hundreds of years later, in comes in Amalek or Edom in 1948. Go ahead.
And the revilings of the children of Ammon.
You see that? Go ahead.
Whereby they have reproached my people.
They have what?
Reproached my people.
They have reproached my people. How? Remember, we just read the definition for Moab, and it told us that in the book of Numbers, right? I think it's Numbers, the 19th chapter, if you guys want to check it out. That Moab and Ammon were standing in the borders and trying to stop the children of Israel from entering in. So when we left, that was their opportunity to go into the land. So when you guys hear about the Palestinians, they say, oh, our families, we've been here for generations. It is true. They've been there for generations after we left. So that's why they feel like that land is also theirs. But it's not theirs. The Most High is going to prove that he's going to take care of everybody in the land to bring back his chosen. But go ahead, read that again.
Ammon, the children of
Ammon.
Ammon.
Verse 8 from the top again.
From the top? All right.
Yeah.
I have heard the reproach of Moab and the revilings of the children of Ammon, whereby they have reproached my people.
They have reproached my people. So the Palestinians are not innocent. All all the bloodshed that's going on right now in Israel, in the Gaza Strip, the Most High prophesied that this would happen to these people because of what they've done to the children of Israel. Go ahead.
And magnified themselves.
And they what?
Magnified themselves.
They magnified themselves. We've been here. This is our land. Our fathers built this land, which is a lie. Okay? Remember, the Most High have a controversy because there's no what? There is no truth and no knowledge of the Most High in the land. So why? This is why the Most High had to raise up brothers and sisters to speak the truth, because they're not going to tell you. All the nations are already in confederate against you. So why would they tell you that's your land? Go ahead.
And magnify themselves against their border.
And you see that? They magnify themselves against their borders. What does that mean? Meaning that when we were in the land of Israel, we had our lot, right? And they had their section. So once we left, they started going into our land, which was crossing their borders. Like you see how America's building the wall to separate the borders of America and Mexico. It's the same thing that was going on, but they magnify themselves against our borders, meaning they had no right to go into our land. Go ahead.
Verse 9.
Yeah.
Therefore, as I live, saith the Most High of hosts, the power of Israel, surely Moab shall be as Sodom.
See? Now you guys can get some clarity as to what's happening right now in Israel, or the state of Israel, between the Israelis and the Palestinians. He said, surely Moab shall be as what?
As Sodom.
As Sodom.
And the children of Ammon as Gomorrah.
And the children of Ammon as Gomorrah. So we all know, according to Bible prophecy, what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah. Right? It was like a July 4th barbecue over there. Most High rained fire and brimstone over there. So the Most High said that surely they will be as the same thing that happened in Sodom and Gomorrah, proving that the Most High will have to rain, or will have to destroy the land before He bring us back in there. Go ahead.
Sorry. Even the breeding of nettles in saw pits and a perpetual desolation.
And it will be a perpetual desolation. So this is why I said that the civil unrest in Israel right now will lead to the war that would end all wars, according to the prophecies. Go ahead.
The residue of my people shall spoil them.
The residue of my people shall spoil them. Go ahead.
And the remnant of my people shall possess them. Verse 10. This shall they have for their pride, because they have reproached and magnified themselves against the people of the Most High of hosts.
And this is exactly the reason why the Most High is doing this. Because of what they've done to the children of Israel and what they still do. You know, they boast. Like I said, they say that this is their land. Well, and they're both fighting for land. The Israelis, I should say, and the Palestinians are both fighting for land that's not theirs. Right?
Verse 11.
Go ahead.
The Most High will be terrible.
The what?
The Most High will be terrible unto them.
The Most High will be terrible unto them. You see that? The Most High will be terrible unto them. What verse you at?
The beginning of verse 11.
Go ahead.
For he will famish all the gods of the earth.
He will what?
He will famish all the gods of the earth.
He will famish all the gods of the earth. You see that? So all this is happening is according to Bible prophecy. Right?
Right.
So now, like I said, this is the war that will begin to end all wars. Right? Matter of fact, let's go into that. Go to the book of Revelations. So in the book of Revelation 16, right? We're going to start at the 13th verse.
The book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse 13.
And this, before you go into that, something I want everybody to understand, right? What's going on in Israel right now will lead, this is like the beginning or the birth pains of what the Most High calls Armageddon, or bringing all the nations and all the armies down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is translated to what? The valley of decision, according to the book of according to Joel, the 3rd chapter, right? But I want to go into this to show that even John the Revelator also knew about this impending battle between all nations and the Most High, right? Revelation 16, I said, right?
Yeah, and 13.
And verse 13. Go ahead.
Revelation 16 and 13. And I saw 3 unclean spirits.
So I want you guys to pay attention to this. He saw 3 unclean spirits,
like frogs, come out of the mouth of the dragon.
Come out of the mouth of the dragon. Go ahead.
And out of the mouth of the beast. And out of the mouth of the false prophet.
Go ahead.
Verse 14. For they are the spirits of devils.
They are the spirits of what?
They are the spirits of devils.
Go ahead. That do what?
That work miracles. Which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole earth, to gather them to the battle of that great day of the Most High, Ahaya.
So now John is giving some clarity as to why the nations are going to be convinced to go into battle with the Most High. They're being led by evil and demonic spirits. According to the book of Revelations, these are the spirits, these demonic spirits lead each government down a satanic path. Okay? I want everybody to understand that no government on this earth is is working towards the Most High's kingdom. Every kingdom, empire, nation on this earth, every government establishment is in cahoots with demons and Satan. Read that last part again.
14?
For 14, yes.
The end of
read 14 again from the top, just to get some clarity.
Revelation 16 and 14.
Yeah.
For they are the spirits of devils.
For these are those spirits that came out of the dragon, the beast, and the false prophet. These are the spirits of devils that do what?
Working miracles.
They work miracles. Go ahead.
Which go forth unto the kings of the earth.
They go forth from the kings of the earth.
And of the whole world.
And of the whole world. So any established government on the earth, right? Whether no matter where it on the earth, is being led to go into this last and final battle. And you guys are going to understand what the United Nations is all about. Psalms 83. Go ahead.
Verse 15.
Yeah.
15. Behold, I come as a thief.
Behold, I come as a thief.
Blessed is he that watcheth.
Blessed is he that watcheth.
And keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked, and they see his shame.
Go ahead.
And he gathered them together.
You see, so these spirits are gathering all these nations and their armies together for what?
Into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon.
Into a place in the Hebrew tongue called Armageddon. Right? This is where all these nations and their armies is going to be led to. And now when you go into the Hebrew for the word Armageddon, if you have a Strong's Concordance, it is H4023. And the definition reads, the Hebrew pronunciation is Mageddon, right? Mageddon. And it says, a place in Palestine. A place in Palestine. So what's going on in Palestine right now, in the Gaza Strip, is going to lead into what we know eventually Armageddon, or the Valley of Jehoshaphat, right? And through that battle, let's go through a prophecy to read what will happen during that time, in that time period. Jeremiah, the 25th chapter. I said we would go back there. Right? This is why I say, brothers and sisters, we gotta be watching ever so often, even more, at what's going on over there. Because you know, the prophecies are being played right in front of us, and we're not discerning the times. Right? So Jeremiah 25th chapter, and take it at verse 15. Right? More on what the Most High calls Armageddon, or where he goes to plead with all the nations through war.
Jeremiah.
Like I said, or like the book of Revelation just said, they're not doing this by their own thinking. They're being led by satanic forces. Okay? All these nations are coming under one spirit, one understanding to fight against the Most High. This is actually what's happening. But let's get the scripture.
Jeremiah 25 and 15.
Yeah.
For thus saith the Lord power of Israel unto me, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand.
So the Most High said, he's telling Jeremiah to take this wine cup of fury. So the Most High got, like they would say in SmackDown, a can of whoop for all these nations. Right? He said, take this what?
Take this wine cup of this fury at my hand.
Take this wine cup of fury out of my hand. And do what?
And cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink it.
You see? Make all these nations that I'm going to send you to drink out of this fury cup. And he's going to give you a run out of all these nations. And remember, today I told you we're only focusing on who? The sons and daughters of Edom and the sons and daughters of Moab and Ammon, which is the Israelis and the Palestinians. Right? But all in all nations will drink of the wrath of the cup of the Most High. Khan? Go ahead.
Verse 16.
Yeah.
And they shall drink and be moved and be mad because of the sword that I will send among them.
Go ahead.
Then I took the cup at the Lord's hand and made all the nations to drink unto whom the Lord had sent me.
Go ahead.
Verse 18. To wit, Jerusalem.
You see, to where?
To wit, Jerusalem.
To wit, Jerusalem.
And the cities of Judah.
Go ahead.
And the kings thereof, and the princes thereof, to make them a desolation, an astonishment, and hissing and a curse.
You see, so remember we just read the definition for Armageddon in the Hebrew? And it said a place in Palestine. Here it is in the book of Jeremiah 25, the Most High is showing where he's going to unleash the wrath. In where? To wit, Jerusalem. In the cities thereof, to make it a desolation. So the Most High is very accurate on what's going on in prophecy. It's just that the world can't see it. What's going on in Israel will lead to what we're reading about right now. So the Most High is going to unleash all the nations, all the fury on the nations when they come into that place called Palestine, into the valley of decision. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 19. Yeah, verse 19. Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and his servants and his princes and all his people. Verse 20. And all the mingled people.
And all the mingled people, because we know there's nothing but Gentiles in the land right now. I mean, we got a feel about people scattered in there. You know, some of our Hebrew brothers and sisters who feel like we need to be going into Israel right now. But the Most High said he's going to bring us in there. He's going to walk us into Israel. So we have no business going in there and trying to take claim of that land right now until it has been brought back. But go ahead.
All the mingled people.
And all the mingled people.
And all the kings of the land of Uz or Uz.
Go ahead.
And all the kings of the land of the Philistines. And Ashkelon and Azah and Ekron. And the remnant of Ashdod.
So this is all the people who was left in the land and the talent. These are all areas in Palestine right now. Go ahead.
Verse 21. Edom and Moab.
Edom, you see that? The Most High, particularly group these two together because why? These are the two who are in the land right now. He said what? Verse 21?
Edom and Moab.
Edom and Moab, go ahead.
And the children of Ammon.
And the children of Ammon. Your Jewish people or Israelis or Amalek and the Palestinians, your Moab and Ammon. These are the people who's in the land right now. And what's going on in Gaza is a result of what we're reading right now, which will lead into the final battle. Go ahead.
22.
Yeah.
And all the kings of Tyrus.
And all the kings of Tyrus, go ahead.
And all the kings of Zidon.
Mm-hmm.
And the kings of the isles which are beyond the sea.
Go ahead.
23. Dedan and Tema and Buz, or Buz, and all that are in the utmost corners.
And these are Cushite cities. Go ahead.
24. And all the kings of Arabia.
All the kings of Arabia. You know, this is Ishmael now coming into play. Go ahead.
And all the kings of the mingled people that dwell in the desert.
Go ahead.
And all the kings of Zimri. And all the kings of Elam.
All the kings of Elam.
And all the kings of the Medes.
Elam is where ancient Iraq was, and that's who? That's Iraq. Elam is where Iraq is right now. Elam. And he says, and the kings of the what?
And the kings of the Medes.
And the kings of the Medes. And who are the Medes and the Persians? Iran. And last week we just spoke about what was going on with Iran too. So the Most High is bringing in all these nations together. Go ahead.
26. And all the kings of the north.
All the kings of the north.
Far and near.
Far and near. Go ahead.
One with another. And all the kingdoms of the world which are upon the face of the earth.
You see, so the Most High is not leaving out nobody. He said all the kingdoms of the world. You see that? For that great and final battle. Go ahead.
And the king of Shishak shall drink after them.
And it says, and I want you to understand this, it says, and the king of Shishak shall drink of them. And when you go into the Hebrew for that word, it says a symbolic name of Babylonians, or the Babylon, the daughter of Babylon. So the Most High didn't forget nobody. Symbolic name for Babylon. Go ahead. Go ahead, continue reading. Verse 27.
Verse 27.
Yeah.
Therefore thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Drink ye and be drunken, and spew and fall and rise no more, because of the sword which I will send among you.
So you see that? So the Most High is going to cause all these nations to drink from this cup of fury and receive a just punishment for what they've done on this earth, especially to what they've done to his hidden ones, children of Israel. Go ahead.
28.
Yeah.
And it shall be, if they refuse to take the cup at thine hand to drink.
So now the Most High said, if they refuse to take the cup, go ahead.
Then shalt thou say unto them, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, ye shall certainly drink.
So the Most High said, don't worry, all of them will drink. All of them will receive and taste of this fury. Right? Go ahead.
29. For lo, I begin to bring evil on the city which is called by my name.
Where?
I begin to bring evil on the city which is called by my name.
So the Most High said he will begin to bring evil on the city that is called by his name. And we understand that that's Israel. So why is he doing this? Why is he bringing evil on that place? Is his people really on that island or on that strip of land right now? No. His people are serving in captivity and he has to bring it back with the sword. You guys have to understand that. Right? Go ahead.
And should ye be utterly unpunished?
And he's asking, should these people who's treading my land right now, should they be unpunished? You think you're not going to receive a punishment for stealing land that's not yours? The Israelis is crying for land. This is ours. The Palestinians is crying for land, saying this is ours. And they're both stealing. Everybody wants that land because why? Whoever controls that part of the world, whoever controls that part of the land controls and have control of the world at this point. Right? That's the Most High's chosen land. Go ahead.
Ye shall not be unpunished.
Yeah.
For I will call for a sword upon all the inhabitants of the earth.
Go ahead.
Saith the Lord of hosts.
Yep.
Therefore prophesy thou against them all these words, and say unto them, the Lord shall roar from on high.
See, the Most High will roar from on high when he sends Christ. Right? Go ahead.
And utter his voice from his holy habitation. He shall mightily roar upon his habitation. He shall give a shout as they that tread the grapes against all the inhabitants of the earth.
And this verse connects with 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter, when Christ comes and wars with the armies. Matter of fact, let's read that real quick, just to show. I'm going to show this real quick, right? Go to 2nd Esdras 13 to tie in that verse with this prophecy. Start at verse 8. 2nd Esdras 13 and 8.
2nd Esdras 13, verse 8.
Yeah.
And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. Verse 9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held his sword.
He neither lifted up his hand nor held the sword. Right? Go ahead.
Nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire.
You see that? Now jump down to verse 32, where it connects with Jeremiah 25 and 30. Listen to this.
Verse 32.
Yeah.
And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass.
Go ahead.
And the sign shall happen, which I showed thee before. And then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending.
Then shall my son be declared as you saw as a man ascending. Go ahead.
And when all the people hear his voice.
And when what?
And when all the people hear his voice.
And when all the people hear his voice.
Every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another. And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting.
You see that? Go ahead.
35. But he shall stand upon the top of the Mount Sion. And Sion shall come.
And Zion shall come. So now go back to Jeremiah 25 and 30. When they shall hear the noise. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 25 and 30.
Yeah.
Therefore prophesy thou against them all these words, and say unto them, the Lord shall roar from on high and utter his voice from his holy habitation.
You see that? So all of the armies will then see and hear Christ coming down to war with them. Go ahead.
He shall mightily roar upon his habitation.
He shall mightily roar upon his habitation. Where is his habitation? Zion. Where is Zion? In Israel. Where is Israel? A part of Jerusalem that they're fighting for right now. This is what's going on that you have to see. Go ahead.
He shall give a shout.
He shall give a shout.
As they that tread the grapes.
Go ahead.
Against all the inhabitants of the earth. 31. A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth. For the Most High hath a controversy with the nations.
See that? The Most High have a controversy with the nations.
He will plead with all flesh.
He will plead with all flesh. Now it's tying in because we read this in the beginning. How would he plead with all flesh? With the sword. With his son, Christ, our Savior and our King. Go ahead.
He will give them that are wicked to the sword.
He will what?
He will give them that are wicked to the sword.
He will give them that are wicked to the sword. This is why when we read in the book of Zephaniah, the Most High is telling us to gather and to purge ourselves and to cleanse ourselves so that way we don't fall to the sword and be wicked as the wicked do. You see that? So the Most High is showing us these prophecies for us to get our acts together because it's time. You understand? It's time. Go ahead. Take where you last left off. That was verse
30?
No, verse 31.
Verse 31?
Yeah.
Verse 31.
Yeah.
A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth.
Yeah.
For the Most High hath a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh.
He will plead with all flesh.
And will give them that are wicked to the sword, saith the Most High.
Go ahead.
Thus saith the Most High of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation.
See that? Evil shall go forth from nation unto nation. So what these wars that we're seeing right now is supposed to happen. The Most High is saying that they're supposed to destroy themselves. The Most High is going to let them destroy themselves and send Christ to finish the job, basically. All right, go ahead.
A great whirlwind.
A what?
A great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coast of the earth.
Go ahead.
And the slain of the Most High shall be at that day, for one end to the earth, from one end to the earth, even unto the other end of the earth.
So that's how much people that will be slain upon Christ's return. It's going to be so much people. It's going to be from one end of the earth. It's going to be like as if from one end of the earth to the next side. That's how much people that's going to try to fight against Christ when he returns. Go ahead.
They shall not be lamented.
They shall. No one will lament for them. No one was going to cry for them and say, "Oh my gosh, these people are dead." No, they are evil. All right, go ahead.
Neither gathered nor buried.
See, they will not be gathered nor buried. They're not even gonna have a proper burial. Go ahead.
They shall be dung upon the ground.
They shall be like dung upon the ground. You all know what that is. All right. What verse is that? 33. Verse 30. Okay. Now
verse.
33. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that we understand that the Most High is gearing up to bring all these nations down for the rise of his kingdom and our kingdom under Christ, right? We're tying in everything that's happening through world media and Bible prophecy. Now you guys understand what's going on in Israel right now. Who are the people in Israel right now? The so-called Jews, right? The Israelis and the Palestinians, and why this is happening so quickly. Right? And I just want you guys to notice, and we're going to read this last scripture, that their end means our rise. You guys got to understand that. Like I said, like I always say, the Most High never gave us these scriptures and these prophecies for any of us to be afraid. You have to understand that their end means our rise. But there's people out there who's working against that, that's trying to hold on to their kingdom, but the Most High is making all of them drink of that fury. And nothing is going to hold us back from getting this kingdom. So let your garments stay white, brothers and sisters. I'm telling y'all right now. Luke 21 and 24. Let's listen to what Christ said. How he summed up what we all are experiencing right now, and we're seeing and observing through the news and tying into Bible prophecy. Luke 21 and 24.
Luke chapter 21, verse 24.
Go ahead.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations.
So this is talking about the children of Israel. Christ prophesied and said that the children of Israel will fall by the sword and be led away captive into all nations. When did this happen? 70 AD, when it was estimated over 1 million Hebrews ran into Africa, escaping Roman persecution. So Christ prophesied of our destruction in the New Testament. Read that again.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations.
And shall be led away captive into all nations. Now you see why the Jewish people hate Christ. Because he's identifying who his people is. Y'all not the people who was led away captive into all nations. I mean, I sympathize for the people, for some of those people who suffered under the hands of Hitler, but that had nothing to do with my people. Okay? What our people went through, it was a phenomenon on this earth. No people could have went through what we went through and stand here this day and still, be here.
And still be forgiven.
And still be forgiven.
To those people that did it.
Exactly.
And still smile.
And still smiling. Exactly. You understand? So Christ said that his people will fall by the edge of the sword and be led away captive into all nations. Go ahead.
And Jerusalem.
And what?
And Jerusalem.
The place that the Palestinians and the Israelis are fighting for.
Shall be trodden down of the Gentiles. Until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
So Christ was basically dropping the truth right here. He said that the Gentiles will be in the land of Israel until their time is up. Meaning that the Gentiles only have a specific time to rule and to reign. Their end means our rise. So now that we see that all the fighting that's going on over there amongst them, this is a marker for us to say, okay, you know what? We coming next. We're next. What we see going on right now in the news with Israel, or the state of Israel and the Palestinians and all these Gentile nations, that's a marker to say that we're next. When you hear about these wars and rumors of wars, just say to yourself, we're next. Go ahead.
Verse 25.
Yeah.
And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring.
So the Most High will send signs in the heavens concerning what the Gentiles is doing, or what they're going through, all the distress, all the war, famine, the earthquakes, diverse places. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 26. Men's hearts failing them for fear.
See, men's heart on the earth will start to fail them due to all of the war and rumors of wars. They're not going to know what to do with themselves. Go ahead.
And for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken.
Go ahead.
And then shall they see the Son of Man come.
And then we shall what?
And then they shall see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory.
And this is what we need to be expecting from all of this. We will see our King coming back. Once they've took care of themselves and finished themselves off. We will see Christ returning on a cloud. Go ahead.
Verse 28.
Read 27 again.
Verse 27.
Yeah.
And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory.
With power and great glory. Go ahead.
Verse 28. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh.
You see? Crystal clear right there. So when Christ was saying, you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, Christ said, look up to the heavens, because know that your kingdom is next. Your redemption draweth nigh. And like I said earlier, 2/3 of our people is not going to understand this and not going to be able to see this. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna continue making their videos online and making the next dance trends, and there's a whole bunch of manner of foolishness.
Going viral.
Trying to go viral. But no one is going to look at these prophecies and look at what's going on in Israel and say that we got next. Our kingdom is next, right? So that being said, that's the lesson in a nutshell, right? The civil unrest in Israel will lead to the final war. Now we're going to move to the question and answer phase of all of this. Real quick, I guess brothers could take it. Anybody in the room got anything they want to say? Any questions? Anybody is unsure of anything? Anybody need any clarity? We'll go through it real quick before we go online and chop it up with the brothers and sisters online.
My question would be Moab and Ammon.
No, well, Moab and Ammon, they always lived on the borders around Israel anyways. Okay. They always lived there. It was always there, but they weren't in the chosen. They weren't in the land of Canaan. We took them out. So in 70 AD, when we fled Roman persecution, when the land was desolate, alone by itself, that's when Moab and Ammon went in. So that's why now you understand why the Palestinians say that that's their land. forgetting that there was people that was there before, the chosen people. Yeah. So that's the understanding on that.
Also, Palestine is.
Yes, the land of Palestine. It's all like that's why they call themselves Palestinians after the land. But their real names are Moab and Ammon. That's who the Most High placed in the land right now. With along with I would say the sons and daughters of Edom following our land. Right? Anybody else? Before we go online real quick. All right, let's go online. If you got any questions or whatever the case is, just feel free to jump in. But we'll go online real quick. Shabbat Shalom to all of the brothers and sisters online.
Shabbat Shalom.
You know, we give all praise to the Most High Ahaya, Ba'ashem Yeshai Wakadash. Right?
We just want to again thank everybody for tuning in tonight.
Praises.
Israel J, Shabbat Shalom family.
Shalom family.
Asaya Aliana, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Yapar Judah, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom once again.
Queen Judah, Shalom Kings and Queens, Kwam Yasharala. Miss Griffith, Shabbat Shalom. Miss Aliana, she says they're fighting for a place that's not even theirs, but this is just the beginning. All praises to the Most High Ahaya.
Definitely. And like Christ said it, like how he said it in the book of Luke, when you see all these things happening, just look up to the heavens and say, your redemption is coming soon. That's how Christ wanted us to be comforted during these times. I love the way he summed it up after he said everything that's going to happen before it's coming. But yeah.
Isaac Wall Michael, Shabbat Shalom. Thursdale, Shabbat Shalom family. Hope everything is okay with him, his family.
No, he's good. He texted me early, said he couldn't make it. Okay. We're gonna set up some prayers for him and his wife. So
they're expecting.
Yeah. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shaloriel, she was asking what book and chapter are we reading?
Oh.
Yeah, we apologize.
Not here tonight.
Yeah, we apologize for that.
We apologize for that. We do apologize. I know how much that really means to you, brothers and sisters, but don't worry.
We gotta work on getting a backup plan
on that, and keep you guys up to speed. And if you feel that we went through too fast through the scriptures, you can always go back. The video is going to be uploaded online, so you guys can go back and watch it at your pace. We do apologize for that. Right?
Our brother Linzel, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, man.
Vanessa Dornelis, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, sister. Oh, she's back?
Yeah, seems so. She's back, yeah.
Oh, she's back in? Couple of weeks? All right.
Ruth 116, happy Sabbath.
Shabbat Shalom.
Happy Sabbath, Shabbat Shalom. Dawid Ben Israel, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, Yashar, he says, man, that is sad. 2/3 is going to fall off, and then 1/10 out of the 2/3.
Yeah. So this information that we're going into, while the world right now is partying and people are heading to clubs right now, people getting shot up and killed, you guys are in here learning where you need to be. Just feel favored and know that the Most High has chosen you to make it past what we're seeing right now. That's how you have to look at it. I'm saying like I say this all the time. It's an honor and a privilege to even have a slight understanding of what the Most High is getting ready to do. That's something big. Like sometimes I walk around in the street and I'm looking around like, I wonder how much people know what I know in my head right now.
Don't even have a clue.
Does anybody do that? I look around the population. I'm like, does everybody know that we're living in the last days right now? I'll be walking around thinking like that, like.
They online for the newest sneakers.
People be camping for sneakers, phones, anything you name it. We're living in some serious times. But go ahead.
And Melanin Rich, she's feeling good tonight. She says Shabbat Shalom fams. Shabbat Shalom,
sister. Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah. And Levi, he just steps in. Shabbat Shalom, Levi.
Shabbat Shalom, Levi.
That's it for now.
All right. Well, yeah. I guess that's about it for right now. feel free, like I said, to chime in. We still have a couple of more minutes that we're gonna be on. Real quick, some short announcements, real quick. For everybody in the room. I know tomorrow we're gonna have a meeting with the bishops and the deacons, officers tomorrow. I'll say after 7 or 7 p.m. So guys so try to make sure you guys are on time. What else? We just celebrated the Feast of First Fruits, and it was the change of season is coming up. Change of season is coming up. No, but I'm just saying we just celebrated the Feast of First Fruits last Sabbath, and it was amazing. I mean, it was great. You know, we had brother Deacon Yaquar and Levi come through and do a performance, including with myself and everybody who else was there who came and gave a testimony or gave a song, whatever the case is, and everybody presented their offerings to the Most High. It was a beautiful feast. You know, I can't wait to have more feasts with the body. You know, it was just amazing. And we want to thank all the brothers and sisters online, those of you guys in the room too, because your contribution is more than a monetary gain. Your views, okay, your views, your comments, your supports, your likes. You sharing the channel, this is big for what we're doing, and it's helping the ministry grow, and it's helping us spread the word. So we want to thank you, brothers and sisters, for what you guys are doing out there. And those of you in the room who diligently, keep the Sabbath with us and, make your effort to be here is really appreciated. The Most High see all of our works. Sometimes it feels like, we're not as big as we think, and the Most High is not really looking at us. Most High is watching. Most High, it says the eyes of the Lord is on who? On the righteous, on the faithful. So, I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, no. I always mistake melanin rich for somebody else. So I want to apologize again. It's a sir. Sorry about that, sir. It's not a female.
Definitely.
Yeah, I always mistake him for somebody else.
All right, any other announcements real quick before we get everybody else Godspeed?
Happy birthday.
Oh yeah. Deacon Yashar. More life. All praises to the Most High.
All praise to the Most High. That He bless you with more life.
Yeah, and hopefully you make it tomorrow. I don't know where you are right now, brother, but we're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow and breaking bread with you tomorrow.
That's me.
Guys, look at the request.
You said what? Where?
Right here.
Read it, guys. Read it real quick.
She's Miss Aliana. She says, "Can we see our family behind the camera?"
Oh yeah.
That's what she wants to see.
You want to turn the camera for me? He can.
Yeah.
Got my ghetto cameraman from the hood cameraman.
All praises to the Most High.
You gotta fix it a little bit.
Let's go.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah. So, I mean, in the future, we're trying to work on having 2 cameras. So there's some things that's in the works that we're trying to do so we can be more interactive, and especially if there's questions in the crowd, the family online could also be a part of that as well too. Mm-hmm. Anything else? Happy to see everybody in the room tonight. Let's pray for those who's not here tonight.
Definitely.
Pray that everything is all right with all the brothers and sisters who's missing from the congregation tonight. Melanin Rich, he says it in all caps. Shalom family. Mm-hmm. Aliana also says Shalom family in all caps. Yes, as Deacon Yashar is saying online, he's saying follow us on IG, or what's called Instagram, at the Body of Christ Kingdom, right? Also subscribe to the YouTube page if you haven't. Like I say every week, But yeah, like, comment, and subscribe as well too. Like I said, every week you guys could have been anywhere on a Friday night, but you're here breaking down prophecies with the brothers and sisters of the body of Christ Kingdom, and we appreciate you guys for that. Tomorrow we'll conclude the Sabbaths. So during the day, you guys can just try to keep it as holy as you can. Meaning, whatever you was doing the 6 days of the week, you're not doing tomorrow, if the Most High permits you. If you have to work, there is grace. Grace does apply for a lot of things. And mind you, like I always like to say as well too, is that we have to understand that the laws was given to a free people. Now that the Most High is bringing back the laws to us, we are now rehearsing the righteous act so we can get it right. So when Christ returns, everything should be like clockwork. Oh, we know how to do this. We know how to do this. So,
They retracted it.
All right, so we're going to bid you all the brothers and sisters, Godspeed. Until next Shabbat, we'll see you all next week if the Most High permit. And this is what we shall do. Preach and teach until the return of our Lord and our Savior and our King, Yeshua HaMashiach. Right? Shabbat Shalom, family.
Shabbat Shalom.
All right, praise to the Most High. Kwam Yasharallah.
Kwam Yasharallah.
Praises.